Welcome back to CruiseAway with Derek and Joe, the only show in Oz that delivers nothing but good news and your next dream vacation for the best value. This time, we're looking forward to family fun adventures with Royal Caribbean, with some sizzling deals for next year.
Yes, we've got Quantum class delights galore with opportunities to enjoy Anthem of the Seas and Ovation of the Seas, both full of high-flying adventures for you and the family to enjoy. Now, we've got a Singapore getaway coming up and a chance to cruise from the shores of Hawaii to our very own doorstep.
Let's start our Quantum Leap triple treat with 3 weeks of getaway adventure, cruising first on Ovation of the Seas, and we'll join her in Sydney on the 3rd of April for 13 nights of cruising fun, and fun it will be. In fact, fun from the high heights, if you want it to be, on the North Star, which is brilliant. That goes out not just over the top of the ship, but over the ocean waves as well, which is pretty thrilling. Do you think you would try it?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
I love anything thrill-seeking like that. Yeah. I love it. Well, it's literally as high as the Sydney Harbour Bridge, they say. And then you've got roller skating, you've got all the arcades, you've got trapeze, you've got all of these fun things to explore and enjoy whilst you're on board. Live life big. That is no understatement when it comes to Royal Caribbean cruising on a Quantum class ship, that's for sure. Go big or go home, in fact. And look, there's loads of fun dining options. There's loads of quirky dining options as well, like Wonderland that we just saw pictured there, when they have all the kind of, what's it called? Not the steam, they have the smoke coming out of the food. They've got all these kind of fun, quirky dishes that you can enjoy, and vibrant menus. Now, of course, you know, you've got to imagine some of the best chefs in the world come on board these cruise ships to prepare delicious food for you, which is all cooked fresh daily, freshly baked bread, freshly made gelato, all of that kind of thing. Now, some lovely features of this ship that make it stand out even from other Royal Caribbean vessels with the Quantum class is that you have the 270 lounge, which has its very own cast and its very own shows. So that's a whole separate entertainment venue to the main theatre, which is lovely. So sometimes you just want to do something more cabaret style. So I like that they have those options. This is really, I mean, look, there's the Flow Rider for you. You've got the rock climbing wall, dodgem cars. It's unbelievable to think that all these things exist and you're floating home away from home.
I know, all good fun to do as well, or watch other people doing it. You don't have to do it. Watching other people doing it is just as much fun. So let's do 13 nights cruising out of Sydney.
Indeed. First stop is going to be Cairns, of course, where we actually get to enjoy an overnight in the beautiful subtropical regions of Queensland, where you are gateway to, you know, Daintree Rainforest. You've got the Barron Gorge National Park right up there as well. You're not far at all from Yorkeys Knob, and Darwin's next. And we have lots to explore and enjoy in Darwin, including the natural wonders of the Nitmiluk National Park, Kakadu as well, Crocosaurus Cove. You can actually dive with crocodiles. You can actually do shark diving there too. Then we're into Bali, Benua, which is the main port for Bali. You can visit Monkey Forest. You can go to some silversmithing workshops. You can head up into the mountains to the Uluwatu Temple, or maybe visit the volcano Mount Agung whilst you're in the Island of the Gods. Then we're going to finish up our trip in Singapore, and you have a 2-night hotel stay in Singapore as well, which is great. Now, it really does summon visions of the mysterious East Singapore when we think about it, but at the same time, I think for many Australians, it's a stopover destination when we're heading over to Europe or different parts of the world. So you might not, other than an airport stopover, you might not have experienced Singapore. So it's great to finish your trip with the 2 proper days to go and see. We're not quite finished yet though, but this is towards the end, so you've got that time to enjoy Singapore and of course take in the dazzling lights of Gardens by the Bay, the Botanical Gardens. But then we are flying back into Bali, that's right, and we have got a 5-night incredible mini break in Bali. 3 holidays in one. It's unbelievable. Oh, there's nowhere like Bali. Bali is utterly spectacular. And, you know, from hidden coves to gorgeous glistening ocean and wonderful marine life, you've got the Gili Islands at your fingertips. So you can head to Seminyak, which is the top beach destination, take a simple ferry over to Gili, Air, Guinea, Tranawan, Lombok, so you can explore the islands at your leisure. Great shopping in Bali too, from handmade silversmithing to beautiful wood carvings. You can have you know, your very own favourite thing made as well to your taste when you're in Bali too, whether it's actually clothing or something carved for your home. And so many options really. And to finish up your trip here is brilliant. tons of value packed into this itinerary for you. Of course, we're starting in Sydney. We're on the Ovation of the Seas for that wonderful cruise, which takes us through Oz and then into Bali and Singapore, having a mini break in Singapore, flying to Bali for a full 5 days, and we'll fly you back to Sydney. Wow.
3 weeks that you deserve a real, true getaway. That's what this is. This is that treat you've been waiting to come around for a long, long time. You work hard and now it's time to play hard. It's time to go and do lots of different things and enjoy, as Joe says before, almost 3 holidays in one. And it goes on the 3rd of April. And it should go with you being part of it as well, because this is holiday heaven. 30 nights on board with Royal Caribbean Cruise on Ovation of the Seas, from Sydney through to Singapore, 2 nights there in a hotel, and then flying over for the most relaxing and zen time in Bali for 5 fabulous nights before you fly back to Sydney. I tell you what, let's have a look at an amazing price tag for you, and I mean ridiculous. If this was the time in Singapore, if this was the time in Bali, if this were the cruise on its own, that price could still very much stand as a really, really good value-packed holiday. This is all 3 of those in one. We've done all of the arranging for you end to end. We've got you the best deals in the hotel, for the airlines as well, and of course our relationship with Royal Caribbean as a global company. CruiseAway, part of Dreamlines, which is a really global company. Our buying power with the cruise lines is massive, and that means we can negotiate exclusive rates just for you. This is amazing. So if we start this good, what about upgrading on Ovation of the Seas? Because these ships are very, very clever in so much as you've got a massive choice of staterooms. You've got insides, some of which have virtual balconies, which is amazing, which is a video screen on your inside which shows you the camera view on the outside of the ship as if you had a real balcony. You can go for the ocean view, or you can go for the real balcony and be out there enjoying the fabulous views as you take your cruise here. Either way, just talk to the team. We'll go through everything that you want to do, everything that you want to see. And listen, if you want longer in Bali, if you want longer in Singapore, just talk to the team. We'll make it happen. Obviously, to give you a price tag on screen, we have to put a sort of criteria and a sort of plan together. But if you want to tailor that and you want to change it, be our guest. All you've got to do is hook up with one of our team right now, toll free 1300 412 358, and we can go through all of the options with you. Now listen, if you're sitting here and you like our shows because it's all talking about holiday, but you've never yet taken that first cruise holiday, I want you to know the many and plenty things that are part of a cruise experience. So again, sit back, relax, and this is what you're missing.
When you choose to cruise, you'll experience one of the best value holidays with so much included as standard. Your floating resort will take you to multiple destinations in one trip, where you'll wake up to a new view every day and only have to unpack once. Your en-suite accommodation will have everything you need to feel right at home, with a daily service provided by your personal cabin steward. Around the ship, you'll have the opportunity to take part in various activities, which can include quizzes, dance classes, game shows, movie screenings, lectures, and much more. If that sounds too much, then feel free to relax, unwind, and watch the world go by in a solarium or around one of the pools, or even in a hot tub. If you're cruising with a family, then the little ones will be well taken care of, with a range of kids clubs available for all ages from morning till late. Plus, no matter the age, everyone can have a thrilling time with rock climbing walls, zip lines, water parks, skating, simulators, and even bumper cars. When it comes to food, you'll never go hungry on a cruise, with options available right around the clock. Enjoy fine dining with waiter service in one of the main restaurants, or opt for something more casual in the self-service buffet. There's also snacks and room service available too. And as the sun goes down, that's when the ship really comes to life. Every evening, you'll be spoilt for choice when it comes to entertainment, from Broadway-style shows in the lavish theatre to live music, comedy, karaoke, silent discos, as well as onboard nightclubs, allowing you to dance the night away. So, if you want more holiday for less dollar, make sure you choose to cruise.
You got to do it. You've absolutely got to do it, because as well, there is that thing of, you know, you can take your gadgets, you can hook up and book a Wi-Fi package on the cruises and keep up to date with everyone and keep in touch. But remember, most people think that when you're on a cruise holiday, you're off the grid.
Yeah.
They're away and they're on a cruise. I
Yeah.
can't call them, I can't contact them,
Yeah.
which is great, because your everyday life suddenly goes quiet and you can just dive into this holiday completely and utterly. People think you're off the grid, let them think that, it's fine. Because then you can really enjoy and properly unwind and enjoy the holiday that a cruise is. They are stunning, seriously, and I'm no medical doctor, but a holiday that really grabs you has got to be good for you, hasn't it?
Makes it so much easier to relax as well, because everything is done for you. You don't really have to
Yeah.
think about anything.
Don't have to cook, clean, none of that whatsoever.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah. Well, next, get on board the Anthem of the Seas for 2 exciting offers. The first one is the Singapore Getaway in February for 12 nights in all. So let's jet you off first from Sydney over to Singapore and stay a while. We've got 3 fabulous nights in a hotel to enjoy before we cruise. I couldn't think of anywhere else that I'd rather spend a mini break than on the tropical Malaysian island of fabulous Singapore. World famous for how tidy and clean and luxurious it is. Of course, luxury shopping awaits on Orchard Road, but you have that definitive flair of the East as well, with some fantastic markets to explore and enjoy. Food, clothes, souvenirs, you name it. The cable car that you just saw there too is a lovely excursion to do whilst you're in Singapore. And some other excursions you might want to do whilst you're there include the Chinatown, Little India and the Sultan Mosque with the Singapore Sling. So these are ones that you can book independently online, or you can actually look at the shore excursions that the cruise ship might offer you as an before you actually join the ship. There's tons of things to do. You can actually go and also do a tour which takes you on the sites to see where the crazy rich Singaporeans, they call it. From the movie, we're going to have 8 nights on board the Anthem of the Seas, which is brilliant. A wonderful amount of time to explore and enjoy one of the most vibrant and vivacious vessels in the Royal Caribbean fleet, and definitely one of the most favourite. She was launched in 2015, Quantum class, so you have all of the bells and whistles and hallmarks that make Quantum class so special, from interactive artwork around the ship through to some of the things that we just tasted in the last offering, which are, of course, the flow ride, the rock climbing wall, the North Star, the bumper cars, all of that whole entertainment complex awaits you whilst you're on board. You will never be at a loss for things to do when you're on board Anthem of the Seas. It's impossible. Foosball, you'll have your table tennis, you'll have all your daily activities that are going on as well. And they do have a library on board, so you can just go and read in the library too, do a jigsaw. Maybe you just completely want to switch off.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, that's,
Do you know something that you won't feel while you're on board this ship as well? I know when we're going through all the stats and the numbers here on the graphics, it's really interesting, it's fascinating actually, and you see that there's just over 4,000 passengers on board, but you'll never have that feeling of being crowded, because as you can see here, there are so many different zones and places and activities, and there's so many different things going on in so many different areas of the ship at the same time. You never have everyone crowding into one thing. So even though there are more passengers, of course that offers you more choice, but you never have that feeling of being crowded or waiting in line. And whatever. It's fantastic the way it works, because everyone wants something different. The great thing about Royal Caribbean, amongst the many great things, is that they do a lot of multi-generational cruising.
Yes.
So there's a lot of younger cruisers, there's a lot of more mature cruisers, and everyone in between. So everyone has their different interests and the different places that they like to be. Some people like to just chill out in the solarium, where other people want to do all the whizzy-bang rides and thrills. Yeah. And that's the great thing. So everyone's evenly sort of spread across the ship. You'll absolutely love it. It's a great family affair. It's a great couples couples cruise as well. Newlyweds absolutely love this kind of cruise. So let's go out of Singapore for 8 nights.
Yes, and we're heading into Selokan Bawang, which is in northern Bali. So this is the part of Bali that is famous for, you've got lovely hot springs, you've got several temples up there as well, the volcano. But Bali, with being within easy access, it's easy to travel to the south of Bali here. In fact, we are heading straight into that port next. Benoa offers easy access to famous Ubud with its wonderful silversmithing factories, its gorgeous yoga studios, and then you have Seminyak, the famous beach resort to visit whilst you're there for sure. Lombok's next. Many people call this Bali 30 years ago, unspoilt, free of motor vehicles. You have lush waterfalls and beautiful rainforests. You can rent a sand bike and travel around the island by bike. That's a really fun thing to do. We're back into Singapore, and we've included your transfer to the airport after this wonderful little whistle-stop tour of Bali and Lombok, and we're going to fly you back to Sydney. Of course, it's all included.
It's lovely. It's just like a nice little mini break, this one, isn't it, actually, just to get you some time away. Nice few nights in Singapore. Go do some shopping, go do some fine dining while you're in Singapore. See how it changes from day to night as well. If you've never spent, you know, a big chunk of time in Singapore before, it has a completely different character at night as it comes to life. You're going to love it. And then, of course, you've got the wonderful cruise. And actually, if this is your first cruise, this would be a perfect length of itinerary for you, actually. Comes up in February, so we're not waiting, you know, sort of 6 months, a year for that. It's coming up very, very shortly indeed. We include your flight from Sydney over to Singapore, 3 nights in a hotel there, your 8 nights Royal Caribbean cruising on Anthem of the Seas, which I've been on board and you will love. You're going to Bali and Lombok before you then fly back to Sydney from Singapore. 12 nights of sheer bliss. And your price tag, look at this. This is why I say kind of mini break territory, because look at the budget we're working with here. I know, and this is brilliant. And there is so much included on your cruise as well with Royal Caribbean. So you've got all day and all night dining included there. You've got the fabulous pools and lots of the activities as well. Some you pay a little extra for, but there's so much, all of those relaxation areas that you've got to enjoy. Fabulous entertainment. You're not buying tickets for the shows every night. That's included, and so much more on offer. So that is a fantastic price at the right time of year. Do you know what I mean? A nice way to sort of start off next year. Here are the prices if you want to upgrade yourself to Ocean View balcony or a suite, because actually we've got such a good price there to start. Yeah. If you are, I mean, I said before that, you know, newlyweds, people who are celebrating special occasions, anniversaries or whatever, might just go for that suite upgrade at, actually, that's really good. I mean, if you work out that price per night, you know, it's really not an awful lot, is it, to jump straight from your interior all the way up to a suite and all the perks that includes as well. And Royal Caribbean, again, is such a vivacious cruise line and great for everyone. And there isn't one person watching right now that a Royal Caribbean cruise would not be right for. You know, if you want to take the children, the grandchildren, every generation of your family, you'll have an amazing time on a holiday like this. And listen, if you wanted to up that 3-night stay in Singapore to 5 nights or longer, or maybe shorter, maybe you just want 1 night in Singapore before you go cruising, or maybe you want that stay at the end of the cruise rather than at the beginning. Again, talk to the team. We can make any of that happen for you, no problem whatsoever. Just call us toll free, 1300 412 358. Have to tell you something that you might not know if you're not familiar with us. When you call us, the prices that you see on screen, we don't then, when you book it, add another booking fee to that. We don't do that at all. So know that when you see a price on screen, that's the price of your holiday with everything we describe included, which is just... It's incredible. It is brilliant. It looks too good to be true.
But it isn't.
But you've got to call and know that it is true.
Yeah, it's just, we've been doing it for so long. We are able to get the smartest deals for you and make you work a lot less hard for your holiday. And, you know, who wants to have to do all of those building parts of the holiday?
No.
We'll do it for you. So let's go a bit further afield now on Anthem of the Seas, bask in Hawaii and sail back to our own shores. This is a 20-night adventure for the 11th of October next year. We're flying from Sydney over to Honolulu first in Hawaii. Let's pause here, head to Waikiki and relax on a 2-night paradise hotel break.
Oh, go on then.
We will put you in a great hotel, somewhere that's nice and central on Honolulu, Waikiki area, and you can explore the island to your heart's delight. Maybe take a nice trolley tour along Waikiki Beach, a sunset sail over the harbour, do some wonderful shopping. You are in America after all, they're known for their deals. You have Pearl Harbor to visit, which is historical and very interesting, of course, to learn about. Beautiful Diamond Head if you want to hike up and see sweeping views over the whole of Oahu. That's a lovely thing to do. Hanauma Bay is also one of my favourite places. It has spectacular snorkeling. You might see lush tropical fish like clownfish and pufferfish and you name it, right there in Hanauma Bay. And then it's time for us to get on board our cruise adventure after enjoying our 2 nights in Hawaii, where we are going to be off on the Anthem of the Seas over to Sydney, back into Sydney. So this is going to be an 18-night adventure for you. And remembering you're going to have some days at sea there. So the days at sea will allow you to sample all the delights that the Anthem has to offer, both high octane and low octane, depending on what you want.
Do you know, even over 18 nights, you won't have seen it all because this ship offers so much. I was very, very lucky to be on board the first year she launched back in 2015. And you'll get on board Anthem and you will never believe that she is, you know, approaching 10 years at sea because she is so smart, so bright. She was way ahead of her time when she launched in terms of the technology on board. It's brilliant. I mean, listen, when have you ever heard, and this is Royal Caribbean, just, you know, flexing their cruising muscles here and saying, well, why not go roller skating on a cruise ship? Why not have bumper cars as part of your cruise? Why not build the North Star that goes way high above the ship and over the ocean waves as well? Why not have a surf simulator? Why not have a skydiving simulator on board? You know, there are no limits, and that's the great thing. The imagination of the team at Royal Caribbean. Remember, there are so many different cruise lines and so many different cruise ships, and every cruise line needs to stand out from the rest.
They are never say never, and that's the nice thing about that. That also is reflective of their service, of the onboard experience. Nothing is, you know, no question, no request is too much for the staff on board Royal Caribbean. They will really do anything they can to make your cruise the best holiday you've ever had. I mean, honestly, from your stateroom stewards and get to know you and they know your name and your schedule, so they're coming at the time that is not imposing to you, through to your serving staff in the dining room, again, who make it that personal experience for you. You're just going to fall in love with it. If you've never been on board Royal Caribbean before, this really will be eye-opening for you because it is one of the best brands out there, you know, known around the world and really a true favourite of Australian cruisers for many, many years.
Oh, yeah.
I think we just love the variety that it offers. You've got branded shows as well, such as We Will Rock You. They've had Legally Blonde. They've had loads of different brands over the years, legends. Now, we're cruising out of Honolulu. A few days at sea will see us into fabulous Pepite, Tahiti, French Polynesia, where you can just enjoy the fact you are in paradise and go to the beach or head up and see, you know, learn about the history of the Polynesian people. That's very interesting as well, in the Museum of Tahiti. Next up, we're into Moorea, and this is where you can go and see a traditional tiki village, and you might want to book an excursion on board with the Anthem team to help you navigate what's best to do in port, or head out and feed the stingrays. That's a special experience as well. Raiatea is next. They call this the cradle of the ancient civilization. You have Marae Tapu Taputea, which is an ancient burial ground, because we are looking at thousands of years of Polynesian history from the earliest explorers in this region as well. Tauranga, New Zealand's next. Maybe you're going to do a Hobbiton tour. So that's where they filmed Lord of the Rings, or it's not too far from you know, some of the incredible natural thermal geysers and mud pools in Rotorua. So you could do a trip there indeed. Now we're going to cruise into Sydney, where you'll disembark park and maybe you can walk home if you live downtown. Or maybe you need a national flight, in which case you can speak to our team about that. Or maybe you decided to drive or have a lift or whatever. It makes it easy, doesn't it, when we're going straight home.
So simple. It's a real breeze, that, isn't it? It's lovely. It's lovely ending up on your own doorstep, isn't it? And being part of something special, a Royal Caribbean cruise. They are amazing. This is such a great package for next October. So you fly off first from Sydney to Honolulu, stay in Waikiki in a hotel there for 2 nights before your 18 nights of cruising the Hawaiian Islands, the South Pacific and New Zealand, ending right here in Sydney on Anthem of the Seas. Incredible, as is the price tag too, because this really surprised me actually. Look, I mean, Royal Caribbean cruising is quality cruising. With so much on offer on board, it is ridiculous that we've managed to secure this price tag and get you the stay in Waikiki and your flight over to Honolulu as well. Bonkers, crazy. Listen, it's another offer that needs snapping up. That's your magic number, toll free to call right now to get on board with this one. You're booking, remember, the best part of a year ahead of plan, and you can split the cost of that holiday as well with Travel Pay Later. Here are the upgrade prices for Ocean View and Balcony, which are, again, fantastic. Not too far away to your Ocean View, not a million miles away for your balcony either if you want to enhance that experience. Remember, on your cruise here, which is 18 nights, your first few days are at sea. They are wonderful to relax out on your balcony first thing in the morning, have your breakfast delivered to the stateroom and just enjoy it while you're out and about, enjoying the fresh air, the views and the lovely blue seas and just the gentle motion of the ocean. Ah, sounds wonderful. Can I come with you? 1300 412 358 is that telephone number to call, and don't forget you can split the cost by 6 or by 12 with Travel Pay Later. You can do this on any of our offers, by the way, here at CruiseAway. Very easy application, simple and quick. Spread the cost, no upfront payments for you, and it is interest free as well. Just 1 or 2 admin charges along the way. If you want more details of that for this or any of the other offers, just call our team on 1300 412 358. And just as a matter of interest, Anthem of the Seas that we were just talking about then is actually sailing out of Singapore from October through to March with cruises to Bali, Penang and Phuket. And then she comes to Sydney next October through to April in 2026. And she's doing South Pacific, New Zealand. She's doing some sampler cruises as well and much more. Again, you can talk to our team about that. An Ovation of the Seas, which is the same class from Royal Caribbean, which we saw at the top of the show. She sails out of Sydney from this October through to March with a number of South Pacific, Queensland and New Zealand adventures. So if you want something much sooner, like literally the next couple of months, you can be on board on one of these ships, and they are well worth being on board.
That's very tempting, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Especially when it's close to home and easy. You know, this is the great thing about cruising. It is so easy. It's the easiest holiday you could possibly pick with, I think, the most entertainment and variety. So if you've never cruised before, maybe this is going to whet your appetite to explore it for the first time. In which case, do check out our website, cruiseaway.com.au, for the thousands of offers that we have available.
Yeah.
And I wish you happy booking on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Waste no time. We're at the end of the show. Time for you to go and book. We'll see you back here for more ideas soon.
Ta-ra for now.